This page is the vibrant cover of the bi-weekly Dreamcast Saturn Fan Magazine from November 6, 1998, captured during the exciting transition period between the Sega Saturn and the upcoming Dreamcast. The artwork features two prominent anime-style girls, hinting at the magazine's focus on gaming culture. The cover prominently highlights the imminent arrival of the Dreamcast, showcasing a lineup of what they call stunning killer titles, like Cyber Troopers, Virtual Oratorio Tangram, Virtua Fighter, 3TB, Resident Evil Code, Veronica, Sonic Adventure, Sega Rally 2, and Grandia 2. It also teases features on Dreamcast's network capabilities and upcoming titles like Shenmue, Project Berkeley, and Power Stone, indicating an announcement rush for the new console. Despite the focus on the future, the magazine hasn't forgotten its roots, offering a substantial, permanent preservation edition appendix with strategy data for popular Saturn games chosen by readers, including a feature on the CG of Friends' Brilliance of Youth. There's even a special tribute to the legendary Sagata Senshiro. The cover also notes a significant detail for fans. There are only 2 more issues left, signaling a format change or the magazine's conclusion in its current form. This issue captures the mix of nostalgia for the Saturn and anticipation for the Dreamcast era. This page is a full-page spread dedicated to the Dreamcast game D2. The layout is a dynamic collage of in-game screenshots, featuring the protagonist, Laura, other characters, grotesque creatures, snowy environments, and chaotic scenes within a plane wreck. Large, bold, pink text is overlaid across the left side, proclaiming, "Something terrifying lies beneath the frozen soil in Canada, and now it is awake." This evocative tagline sets the tone for the game's horror and survival themes. The right side features a massive red logo for D2 and confirms the game runs under Dreamcast. The page effectively uses striking visuals and a chilling statement to build excitement and intrigue for this upcoming title on Sega's new console. This page is a striking advertisement for Derby Stallion coming to the Sega Saturn, featuring a man and horse both shedding tears, evoking the game's emotional depth in raising racehorses, and highlights its December release on the platform. This page provides a comprehensive look at upcoming games and magazine features, with a focus on both the Sega Saturn and the nascent Dreamcast era. On the left, there's a feature or advertisement for the vertical scrolling shooter Strikers 1945-2, available now on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn, promising intense aerial combat and showcasing box art and gameplay screenshots. It also mentions a special campaign, giving away merchandise. The main content area is the table of contents for the magazine, highlighting key articles. A significant section covers a detailed analysis of the Dreamcast, focusing on its network capabilities and spotlighting editor-selected killer titles, such as Virtua Fighter 3TB, Cyber Troopers Virtual Oratorio Tangram, Sonic Adventure, Sega Rally 2, Grandia 2, Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and D2. There's also a Dreamcast countdown report, listing many other upcoming titles for the new console. For Sega Saturn fans, there are follow-up reports on existing games, ongoing columns like software reviews and news updates, and a special appendix based on reader surveys, detailing popular software and strategy data. A special feature pays tribute to the iconic Sagata Senshiro, and another report covers Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 3, Tabidachi no Uta. The page includes illustrations of the 2 girls featured on the magazine's cover, and gameplay screenshots for Strikers 1945-2. There's also a small ad for Yoshimoto Mahjong Club on PlayStation and Saturn. This page delves into the Dreamcast's groundbreaking network capabilities, explaining how users can connect and what services are available right from the start. It highlights the Dream Passport software as the gateway to 4 major services: internet access, email and chat, network games, and information services. Screenshots show the clean interface of Dream Passport, a chat application called Dreamflyer, and gameplay from the online racing game Sega Rally 2. The article details how basic internet browsing is possible, along with sending and receiving email and chatting with other users. For online gaming, it specifically mentions Sega Rally 2 and Dwango as examples. It also touches upon the connection methods and associated fees, noting different routes and costs for general internet services versus dedicated network gaming connections. Beyond core communication and gaming, the page describes other services like the official Drickus information site, a character-based email service called MailChun, a map service to locate other users or points of interest, Dorimusupe, and even daily content like manga and comedy shows. The feature emphasizes the potential for various online interactions and content beyond just gaming. This page focuses on the Microsoft browser provided for the Dreamcast, officially known as Microsoft Web TV for Dreamcast, MWD. It features an interview with Microsoft's David M. Robinson and James Swinburne, diving into the browser's capabilities and design. The article compares MWD to the console's built-in Dream Passport, explaining that MWD is based on Internet Explorer technology and incorporates Web TV features, making it well-suited for television viewing. It also addresses the differences compared to a PC browser, noting MWD's design for controller use and its 640 by 480 resolution optimized for TV displays. Key discussion points include the ease of navigation with a controller, parental control features using filtering software like Surfwatch to restrict access to adult sites, and the rationale for using the Dreamcast for internet access, emphasizing its role as a gaming console that also offers online communication and browsing. Screenshots show the MWD interface, filtering settings, and comparisons related to online content like the Godzilla Generation game. The developers highlight the browser's user-friendly design for a TV environment. This page dives into the latest news surrounding the Dreamcast launch. 3 weeks after its initial release, it covers the official price and bundle contents, confirming the console will retail for 29,800 yen, excluding tax, and include the main unit, one controller, AV cables, modem cable, power cable, instruction manual, and a demo disc with promotional prints. Sega is implementing a new distribution strategy, shifting towards direct sales to retailers and establishing partnership shops and Sega Muse locations to shorten the distance between Sega and users. The page also details sales goals, aiming for 500 partner shops and 5,000 nationwide retailers. Excitingly, 11 new companies are joining the Dreamcast development scene, bringing the total of newly announced titles to 17. Prominent additions include Capcom with Biohazard Code, Veronica, Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and Taito with Psychic Force 2012. The page features screenshots of several upcoming games, showcasing the diverse genres like survival horror, RPG, fighting, and simulation. Developers from some of the new companies, like Imagnia and GameArts, provide comments on their experiences working with the Dreamcast hardware. Additionally, launch campaigns are mentioned, including pre-order bonuses and a point system for software purchases. This page features two distinct sections. On the left, Sagata Sanshiro, the iconic Sega Saturn mascot, appears against a starry background with his famous motto, "If you aren't going to play seriously, I don't want you to play." There's also information about a Sagata Sanshiro game, scheduled for an October 29th release, at 4,800 yen. The right side contains a special report on Dreamcast killer titles, spotlighting Virtua Fighter 3 TB. The magazine staff is highly impressed, having played the latest ROM for over 2 hours, and praising the flawless port from the arcade. They highlight the technical prowess, emphasizing the game's ability to render 1 million polygons per second, and reproduce 60 frames per second motion. A small data box confirms details like the scheduled release date of November 27th, the price of 5,800 yen, and its support for 2 players and arcade sticks, categorizing it as a fighting action game. The report promises a detailed verification of the port quality. This page delves into a detailed comparison of the Dreamcast port of Virtua Fighter 3 TB with its arcade counterpart, under the headline, "Comparing with the arcade version, what's different? We can't tell." The magazine staff verifies various aspects of the latest ROM, concluding that the port is remarkably faithful. The analysis covers several key areas. The character select screen and pre-match character sequences are confirmed to be accurately replicated, including character rotation and voice clips. Subtle viewpoint changes during gameplay, and the intricate stamina recovery system, referred to as TB, are highlighted as perfectly reproduced, with the amount of recovery changing based on win conditions just like in the arcade. Further details examined include the replay and slow mode after KOs or ringouts, the variety of character winning poses dependent on match conditions, and the newly added after-image effect for specific moves which aids technique confirmation. Effects like dust clouds, absent in previous demos, are now included and realistically rendered. Finally, the crucial throw break system is analyzed, with the resulting situations and positions after a successful break confirmed to be completely accurate to the arcade version, emphasizing the depth of the mechanic. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate these points, showcasing the impressive graphical fidelity and faithful recreation of gameplay elements. This page features Virtua Fighter 3 TB, focusing on the progress of character movements and stages. The main headline proclaims that stages are complete and character movements are well underway. The article provides an explanation of the unique techniques and home stages for 10 characters. It mentions that while many stages are complete, some character stages for Jeffrey, Wolf, Sarah, Cage, and Lion are still unfinished and will be shown later. Sections discuss specific gameplay mechanics like the height characters are launched into the air after certain moves, and the nuances of air and bound combos, noting that judgment for some techniques is still under development. Specific character and stage spotlights are given to Akira Yuki and Pai-chan. Akira's home stage, the Gymnasium, is described as a standard, flat arena. Akira's signature moves like the monk's headbutt and a unique air combo technique are showcased. Pai-chan's stage, the Roof, is highlighted for its significant height difference, creating strategic advantages and disadvantages based on starting position. Pei's techniques, such as the flying swallow single leg and a dynamic combo sequence, are also featured. A play report from testing the latest sample room notes the remarkable fidelity to the arcade version, especially when using the dedicated controller. The reviewer was impressed by how well the movements and overall feel matched the arcade experience, despite some remaining work on the game's judgment system for certain moves. The report confirms that the game is shaping up impressively. The next page continues the deep dive into Virtua Fighter 3 TB, focusing on more characters and their distinct fighting styles and stages. Lao Chan is featured alongside his Great Wall stage, highlighting its expansive layout and strategic low walls that enable ring-out tactics. Key techniques like his powerful throws and signature swallow palm are showcased. Jeffrey McWild takes the stage on the island, a compact arena surrounded by water where the gentle slope towards the edge makes ring-outs a major consideration. Jeffrey's devastating wrestling throws like Splash Mountain and the Powerbomb, as well as his iconic uppercut, are displayed. Wolf Hawkfield's home is the vast desert stage, uniquely designed without ringouts, encouraging full-time limit battles and utilizing the dynamic terrain changes. His powerful wrestling arsenal, including the giant swing and various suplexes, is front and center. Lastly, Kagemaru is spotlighted with his castle stage, a complex courtyard environment offering varied terrain and ring-out possibilities from multiple sides. Cage's swift ninja techniques and signature arc fall throw are highlighted. The page effectively demonstrates the diverse character roster and the strategic depth introduced by each unique stage in Virtua Fighter 3 TB. This page continues the exploration of Virtua Fighter 3 TB, delving into more of its diverse cast and unique battlegrounds. Sarah Bryant is featured with the subway stage, a deep underground platform notable for walls, ring-outs, and the dangerous possibility of being hit by a train. Her signature moves like the rising elbow, lightning smash, and a dynamic multi-hit combo are highlighted. Lion Raphael is showcased in the library stage, set amidst a grand library with sloping staircases that influence movement, although fighting parallel to them minimizes this effect. His powerful basho and various leg attacks are displayed. Jackie Bryant takes center stage on the building rooftop, a subtle hexagonal arena where the low light makes gauging the edge tricky. His signature rising elbow and impressive somersault kick, along with a complex 5-hit combo, are presented. Finally, the sumo wrestler Taka Arashi is shown in his sumo ring, a circular earth arena, dohyo, where ringouts are a constant threat from any direction due to its narrowness. His unique sumo techniques like chutsuri and gasenjari throws, which react to opponent weight, are key features. The page effectively demonstrates the continued variety in characters, fighting styles, and interactive stages in Virtua Fighter 3 TB. This page kicks off a special report focusing on another potential killer title for the Dreamcast, Cyber Troopers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram. The article is delving into the highly anticipated port of this arcade mech battling sensation to the Dreamcast, questioning if it can achieve the status of the ultimate port impossible on other systems. The feature explores the possibilities and expected content of the DC version. Key areas of investigation highlighted are the inclusion of online communication matches, standard versus modes, VMS visual memory system, support, and potential original elements exclusive to the Dreamcast release. Visually, the page is dominated by dynamic artwork of the iconic Temjin Virturoid, and features several screenshots showcasing the intense, fast-paced mech combat the series is known for. The report indicates that development details like release date and price are still undecided at this point, but the focus is clearly on whether the Dreamcast can truly replicate the arcade experience and add significant new features. This page continues the deep dive into the highly anticipated Dreamcast port of Cybertrooper's Virtualon Oratorio Tangram. The article poses key questions about the port's fidelity, including checks on the graphical resolution and whether the fast-paced action can be perfectly reproduced from the arcade version. The producer, Mr. Watari, weighs in, discussing the development progress and hinting at the challenges and successes in bringing the Model 3 arcade experience to the Dreamcast. The page also briefly touches upon the ports of the original Cybertroopers Virtualon to the Saturn and PC, reflecting on how those earlier transitions fared. Finally, there is a preview showcasing several of the playable Virtuoids featured in Oratorio Tangram, including fan favorites like Temjin, Raiden, and Feyen, offering glimpses of their designs and in-game appearance. This page continues the in-depth preview of the Dreamcast port of Cybertroopers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram. The article examines crucial aspects for fans, including the implementation of various versus modes like online play and split screen, and the potential for unique Dreamcast features. Producer Mr. Watari discusses the challenges of replicating the arcade experience and hints at focusing on core quality first, while also exploring possibilities like VMS integration for features such as replays and comm learning. Other potential modes covered include a training mode, color editing for Virtuoids, and a watch mode to spectate battles. The article also features a showcase of 4 distinctive Virtuoids planned for the game: APHARMDS, Angelin, Balsaries, and a Jim, providing details on their combat styles and unique characteristics. The page concludes by inviting readers to send their requests and feedback for the DC version directly to Sega. This page features a special report on the highly anticipated Dreamcast title, Sonic Adventure. The article delves into 2 major aspects revealed: the A-Life system and exciting new action sequences. The A-Life section highlights the interactive KO Garden, where players can raise digital creatures called KO. Screenshots showcase interacting with KO, feeding them, and using animals rescued from enemies to influence their growth and abilities. There's also a glimpse of Big the Cat and his fishing gameplay. Interestingly, the article mentions the ability to take your nurtured KO outside the game using the Visual Memory Unit, VMU, suggesting a unique connectivity feature. Moving to new actions, the report details thrilling new gameplay segments beyond the previously shown snowboarding and falling building sequences. Sonic is shown engaging in a sandboarding action through a desert environment, suggesting diverse modes of traversal. Another intense sequence features Sonic escaping from a massive orca on a wooden bridge, emphasizing high-speed, cinematic chases. These sections promise varied and exciting challenges for players. Overall, the page offers a compelling look at the depth and variety Sonic Adventure aims to deliver, from its unique life simulation elements to its dynamic action stages. Release details for the game are also presented. This page continues our deep dive into Sonic Adventure, showcasing more exciting details about the game world and characters. The left section focuses on new stages within the massive egg carrier airship, highlighting how gameplay changes dramatically depending on which character you're controlling. For Sonic, the Skydeck stage emphasizes the precarious height, requiring careful movement to avoid falling despite his speed. Tails, with his flight ability, finds navigation easier, able to fly over gaps, and even utilize shortcuts. Knuckles' stages inside the egg carrier are presented as complex labyrinths, where he must use his gliding and digging skills to hunt for Master Emerald shards, requiring careful exploration of interconnected rooms. The right side shifts focus to Amy Rose's opening story sequence, presented in a fun, comic format. It depicts Amy wandering in Station Square, initially enjoying herself, before getting separated and encountering a small bird. She then finds herself protecting the bird from Dr. Eggman's robot, Zero, before Sonic eventually arrives to help her. This scene establishes Amy's protective nature and sets up her goal of keeping the bird safe throughout her adventure, eventually teaming up with Sonic. It's cool to see how different characters have completely unique stage designs and objectives, really expanding the gameplay variety. This page announces that Sega Rally 2 is confirmed for a simultaneous release with the Dreamcast console launch, and showcases the latest footage, which is over 80% complete. The main feature is a look at how well the game replicates the arcade experience on the Dreamcast hardware. Multiple screenshots highlight the detailed graphics across different tracks, demonstrating the visual fidelity. The article notes that even at 60% development progress shown earlier, The graphics were already very close to the arcade original, and the latest footage promises even more detail and realistic handling. There's also a fascinating report on the development staff conducting real-world test drives with a professional rally driver to ensure the game captures the authentic feel of rally racing. This reinforces Sega's commitment to realism in Sega Rally 2. This page continues the look at Sega Rally 2 on Dreamcast, focusing on verifying the impressive quality of the demo footage shown at TGS. The article confirms the smooth and speedy performance, noting it surpasses even the arcade Model 3 hardware and is showcased via a demo reel. Key graphical and physics elements are highlighted, including the game's successful recreation of unique rally car handling with necessary countersteer and stable cornering. The detailed light source processing, realistic reflections, and dynamic effects like dust clouds and kicked-up sand are also praised for enhancing the sense of realism beyond the arcade version. The vibrant presentation extends to the crowds, with spectators cheering and cameramen displaying realistic movements. Furthermore, the page reveals exciting new original content for the Dreamcast version. While discussing a range of additional cars planned, it specifically announces 3 iconic rally vehicles joining the roster: the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16, the Renault Maxi Megane, and the Fiat 131 Abarth Rally. Screenshots also showcase the Toyota Corolla WRC, detailing its lively handling and impressive dust effects in the demo footage. This page features a special report highlighting Grandia 2 as a Dreamcast killer title, promising a new adventure set in an unknown world. It focuses on the significant evolution of the series, now fully rendered in polygons for the Dreamcast. The article praises how Grandia 2 retains the charming feel of the original, while embracing 3D graphics for characters, townscapes, and environments. Screenshots showcase the polygonized town, highlighting that even though it's 3D, it keeps the warmth of the previous game's hand-drawn style. The real-time battle system is emphasized as being even more dynamic and powerful, with fully polygonal character models and effects. Magic attacks and their impact are shown through a sequence of screenshots, demonstrating the smooth polygonal action and potential for improved camera work compared to the previous installment. The development team, GameArts, is credited for crafting a rich world and a highly strategic battle system, building upon the original's well-received story. The page concludes by confirming that the highly anticipated sequel to Grandia is finally coming to the Dreamcast. This page delves deeper into the evolution of Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast, asking how the game has powered up. It explores key aspects like its connection to the original game, the presentation of towns, changes to the battle system, and unique Dreamcast features. The article confirms that while maintaining the spirit of Grandia, the second installment is largely a fresh adventure with minimal direct ties or returning characters from the first game. The town environments are now fully polygonal, but designed to retain the warmth and detail of the original's hand-drawn style, enhanced by dynamic lighting effects. The battle system sees a significant upgrade, becoming even more dynamic and strategy-focused with its real-time elements. The move to polygons allows for more fluid character actions and impressive magic effects, creating what is described as an ultimate action battle. Producer Takeshi Miyagi discusses the game's shift towards a slightly more mature tone, targeting an older demographic with the protagonist, Ryudo. He highlights the use of Dreamcast capabilities, including potential online features like a fan community board, to enrich the experience. The page showcases several screenshots of the game's polygonal graphics, illustrating the detailed environments and the dynamic battle sequences. This page features a special report on one of the Dreamcast's killer titles, taking a deep dive into Resident Evil Code Veronica's. Set 3 months after the events of Resident Evil 2, the game throws protagonist Claire Redfield onto a desolate island in the South Sea, following her search for her brother, Chris. The article highlights the significant technological leap, explaining that all objects, including backgrounds and characters, are now fully polygonal, allowing for more dynamic and varied camera work and environmental interaction. Character modeling uses skin-based structures for natural joint movement. It also confirms the appearance of other characters, notably stating that Chris Redfield, the protagonist from the first game, is expected to appear. Screenshots showcase the enhanced polygonal graphics, including detailed environments like a prison, a chaotic outdoor scene with burning objects, and the classic Resident Evil safe room hall. The developers mention that the shift to polygons allows for exciting environmental interaction, like collapsing walls. Developer interviews with Mr. Okamoto and Mr. Mikami touch upon the game's development and their ambitions, suggesting it continues the story from Resident Evil 2, and aims for a high-quality, film-like presentation achievable on the Dreamcast. This title promises to deliver the series' signature blend of cinematic tension and challenging survival horror, with a major graphical upgrade. This page presents a special report from the editor's choice of Dreamcast killer titles, focusing on D2. The feature highlights the game with a prominent logo and various striking screenshots, including a grotesque zombie-like creature, intense combat scenes, and a crashed airplane environment. The article includes an interview with Kenji Ino of Warp, the game's creator, under the headline, "This is Warp's Will Expression." Ino discusses the decision to showcase D2 via video at the Tokyo Game Show, emphasizing their commitment to real-time graphics rather than pre-rendered sequences. He explains they wanted players to see the potential of Dreamcast's real-time rendering, showcasing character expressions, event actions, and battle choreography, which he feels is far beyond what was previously possible. Ino touches on the development challenges and the detailed portrayal in the game, particularly mentioning an impressive battle scene within a crashed airplane. He notes that this scene features a boss, Laura, who is the first major encounter about an hour into gameplay. The interview conveys confidence in the game's visuals and depth, suggesting the extreme portrayal reflects the team's dedication and vision for this action RPG. The game is set for release in 1999 on the Dreamcast. This page continues the deep dive into D2, a title from Warp for the Dreamcast, focusing intensely on the game's presentation and the developer's uncompromising vision. The main theme here is the fight for creative freedom in game expression, with a prominent headline stating, "Warp is ready for the battle." The article features character portraits, including the protagonist Laura, a mysterious young girl, and another intriguing figure, alongside dynamic shots of snowmobile action and intense moments, like a grotesque monster attacking a person. Kenji Ino discusses the game's real-time graphics, highlighting how they allow for striking visuals and fluid action that goes beyond traditional movies. He emphasizes Warp's commitment to depicting scenes, even potentially brutal ones, without compromise, linking this to the importance of sound and effects in creating a powerful atmosphere. The discussion touches on the technical aspects of effects and sound design, real sound, and how they are crucial to D2's immersive experience. This page features two distinct Dreamcast titles published by NEC Home Electronics. On the left is Seventh Cross, a biological evolution simulation RPG. The central question posed is, what are you? What are you trying to become? This title promises a survival experience focused on a world and evolution shaped by the player, powered by the latest SOM artificial life technology and the Dreamcast's graphical capabilities. The visuals show a powerful armored creature, various landscapes, and an interface screen hinting at character customization or evolution. On the right is Sengoku Turb, an advanced action role-playing adventure. The tagline cheekily suggests doing whatever you like with love and courage. It describes a cute, surreal, and mysterious Turb world, where a solitary young girl wanders the cosmos and engages in a large-scale battle between cats and sheep on a unique planet. The screenshots display vibrant, low-polygon environments and quirky, cartoonish character designs. This page highlights the whimsical world of the Cotton series. Featured prominently is Magical Night Dream's Cotton Boomerang for the Sega Saturn. This release boasts a new team battle system where players can choose a team of 3 from a diverse cast including Cotton, Appley, Silk, and Needle. The gameplay is enhanced with new actions like the ability to punch through enemy fire, promising a chaotic battle experience. Screenshots show the character selection screen and intense in-game actions. Also advertised is Magical Night Dream's Cotton 2 Tamori, a Cradrom for Windows containing all the graphic data used in the making of Cotton 2. This collection offers minigames, screensavers, wallpapers, and core CG and sound assets for fans to explore. The page also includes standard magazine sections such as the Conehead Club, Fan Corner, reader contributions, and a manga strip, rounding out the content with community engagement and lighthearted features. This page is a handy submission postcard intended for readers of Saturn Fan Magazine. It provides dedicated sections for submitting content to popular reader corners like the Game Scoreboard and the Conehead Club, mentioned previously. The form includes spaces for personal details like name, address, phone number, and pen name, along with clear instructions to affix a stamp and mark the desired submission corner. It's presented as a convenient way for fans to share their thoughts, illustrations, or game achievements with the magazine and fellow readers. This page showcases reader submissions to the Conehead Club, featuring both fan art and feedback. The Saturn Gallery displays impressive illustrations based on games like Shining Force, Golden Axe, and Slayer's Royal 2. Meanwhile, the Dreamcast Picture Gallery highlights art for upcoming Dreamcast titles, such as Sonic Adventure and Virtua Fighter. Reader feedback sections discuss exciting prospects for the Dreamcast, including requests for ports of popular Saturn games like Burning Ranger and the long-awaited Street Fighter II. Fans share their expectations for the new console, debating the value of collections like the Model 2 collection and anticipating releases from developers like Namco. Another section addresses concerns about the Sega Saturn itself, specifically issues surrounding game save data and hardware stability, a common frustration for players at the time. Overall, the page reflects the passion of Sega fans, looking back on the Saturn era while eagerly anticipating the Dreamcast's launch and the future of their favorite franchises. This page is a vibrant showcase of reader engagement, featuring fan art and feedback centered around popular games. The We Are Supporters section includes dedicated areas for franchises like Sakura Wars, where fans voted for their favorite characters and submitted art, and other titles like Black Matrix. There are also sections specifically for Grandia, discussing the upcoming Dreamcast release and featuring character art, and the EVA Human Instrumentality Committee for Neon Genesis Evangelion, showing fan interpretations of the series' iconic units and characters. The Dragon Force Fan Club highlights submissions for this strategy RPG. A Cone Kids Q and addresses fan queries on various topics, while a cover prediction contest section reveals past winners and announces the next challenge. The page reflects the passionate community supporting these games through creative expression and interaction. This page is dedicated to a reader survey and prize giveaway, giving 30 readers a chance to win software. The main section details a comprehensive questionnaire, asking readers for their feedback on various gaming topics and their preferences. It covers which games they've played, which magazines they read, the gaming consoles they own, their spending habits on software, and their opinions on the content of the magazine itself. There are also sections providing reference lists, including Table 1 listing games featured in this issue, Table 2 for gaming magazines, Table 3 for gaming consoles, Table 4 for games the readers have played, and Table 5 for upcoming Sega Saturn and Dreamcast software releasing from October 22nd onwards. The survey also includes criteria for evaluating games, such as character movement, sound, overall value, controls, and originality. Readers submit their answers via a postcard to enter the prize draw, with instructions provided on how to fill it out correctly, and a deadline for submissions. The prizes offered are specific Sega Saturn and Dreamcast games. This page features a breakdown of the Sega Saturn port of Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and a major announcement regarding a new Dreamcast RPG from Sega AM2. On the left, we dive into the Saturn version of Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, detailing how to unlock hidden characters and options. It provides instructions on accessing fighters like Mecha Zangief, Alternate Sakura, and Shadow, along with some of their special moves. The article also notes unlockable options post-clearing the game, such as speed settings and infinite health. It briefly touches upon game mechanics and features like the stage select. The main focus on the right is the surprising announcement of Project Berkeley, a massive new RPG project led by Sega AM2 head Yu Suzuki for the Dreamcast. Revealed at the Sega New Challenge Conference 2, this game is described as a Dikai, huge game with an expansive world and a vast number of characters planned. Yu Suzuki discusses the concept, emphasizing a theme of love and courage and aiming to create something enjoyable for players who grew up with games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, while also appealing to a younger audience. Though details are still scarce and the title is provisional, this reveal marks a significant new direction for the acclaimed AM2 studio. The page highlights Suzuki's extensive history creating hit arcade games before moving to console development, underscoring the pedigree behind this ambitious project. This page features a first look at Geist Force, an ambitious 3D shooting game announced for the Dreamcast, aiming for a December 10th release. Described as having an SF movie-like story and world, this report introduces its major game systems. The gameplay is mission-based 3D shooting, featuring both a scroll mode, where you follow a set path, and a dogfight mode, allowing free flight within a designated area. Lock-on attacks are also possible. The game emphasizes playability and presentation with a non-stop PASM system: play, action, story, music. designed to eliminate loading interruptions and keep the game flow seamless. It also utilizes an optimal camera system that automatically switches viewpoints for the best angle during gameplay. Geistforce boasts diverse stages, ranging from cities and forests to spaceports and ruins, and promises a multi-ending system where the outcome changes based on player actions. A unique feature is the transforming player ship, which changes form depending on the environment, space, underwater, and combat situation, dogfight, close combat. The game is populated with a variety of bizarre and alien-like enemies, from walking creatures to massive fixed weapons, reflecting the game's focus on dread and visual impact. The next page dives deep into the Dreamcast title, Godzilla Generations, featuring a look at its unique battle mode, Atsumete Godzilla Coliseum. The main game, Godzilla Generations, features deformed versions of classic Toho monsters, brought to life with polygonal graphics on the Dreamcast. This report highlights the battle mode, which allows up to 4 players to compete simultaneously, using the Dreamcast's 4 controller ports. A cool feature mentioned is the ability to use the VMU screen to target opponents in 4-player matches. The page shows various deformed monsters like King Ghidorah, Gyra, Space Godzilla, Anguirus, Mothra, and others, showcasing their comical designs and battle scenes. Beyond the gameplay details, Godzilla Generations offers some fan-pleasing extras. It includes a collection of theatrical trailers from the Godzilla film series. Furthermore, the game utilizes music directly from the original Godzilla films, featuring iconic tracks and composers like Akira Ifukube and Jimmy Page, adding to the authentic kaiju experience. The game was set for a November 27th release. This page covers the upcoming Dreamcast game Godzilla Generations, focusing on its deformed monster battle mode, multiplayer, VMU features, and film-related bonus content, including trailers and music. This page delves into the core gameplay experience of Godzilla Generations, shifting focus from the battle mode previously discussed to the main game, where players rampage across Japan's major cities. The objective is straightforward: control iconic monsters and lay waste to 5 distinct urban environments: Fukuoka, Osaka, Nagoya, Yokohama, and finally Tokyo. As you progress through these stages, the roster of playable monsters expands. Initially, you can take control of first-generation Godzilla, Heisei Godzilla, and Manila, with others becoming available as you complete stages or fulfill specific conditions. The game encourages strategic destruction. Simply demolishing buildings contributes to your score, but achieving the highest ranks and earning the coveted God of Destruction title requires maximizing your destruction efficiency, managing time, and maintaining your monster's health. Standing in your path are the human defenses, primarily the G-Force, with their formidable Super X mechs like the Super XI, Super X2, and Super X2I, who will actively try to impede your progress. A notable feature highlighted is a direct comparison between the Showa and Heisei era designs of Godzilla as they appear in the game, showcasing the visual differences between these classic incarnations of the King of the Monsters. This page provides an in-depth look at a test version of the Dreamcast title, Blue Stinger, offering a report on its content. Scheduled for release on December 3rd at 5,800 yen, this adventure game, developed by Climax Graphics, puts you in the shoes of a single player exploring a mysterious island. The report unveils some of the island's diverse environments, including a lush jungle, a chilling cold storage warehouse, and even a location where a dinocyte creature is frozen in ice. Screenshots give a glimpse of these intriguing settings. Focusing on the playable demo build, the article details exploring Labo Town, navigating various buildings, and encountering enemies. The game features a range of combat options, showcasing 5 types of weapons available in the demo, from firearms like the napalm launcher and shotgun, to melee options like the laser sword. A key element highlighted is the variety of enemies, known as dinocytes, which are creatures mutated by a strange substance. Several distinct types are pictured and briefly described, such as the human dinocyte, plant dragon dinocyte, and crab dinocyte. Initial impressions from the reviewer are positive, noting smooth movement with the analog stick and effective camera work contributing to a heightened sense of realism. The difficulty felt well-tuned, and the overall experience suggests a revolutionary level of home console gameplay. The next page features exciting new Dreamcast titles, starting with the latest entry in the classic puzzle series, Puyo Puyon. This installment is getting a fresh look on the Dreamcast, with vibrant, high-resolution graphics and new gameplay elements, including a revamped story mode featuring familiar characters like Arl and Witch, and a challenging chain mode allowing for massive combos. Next up is Cyberteam in Akihabara. Pata Pies, a simulation game where you raise adorable creatures called Pata Pie in cyberspace. Based on the popular anime and manga, the game features beloved characters from the series and focuses on building relationships with your Patata Pie through interaction and customization. Finally, we get a look at Giant Gram All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 in Nippon Budokan. This wrestling title promises incredible realism thanks to polygon graphics that bring the wrestlers to life like never before. It features real All Japan Pro Wrestling stars, adds tag team matches, and aims to deliver an authentic pro wrestling experience. This page previews 3 diverse Dreamcast games: the puzzle game Puyo Puyon, the simulation game Cyberteam in Akihabara, Pata Pies, and the wrestling title Giant Gram 2. This page dives into another upcoming Dreamcast title, Aero Dancing, featuring Blue Impulse from Crit. Moving away from traditional dogfighting, this flight simulation game focuses on the precision and beauty of aerobatic maneuvers performed by the renowned Japanese Air Self-Defense Force team, Blue Impulse. The game allows players to step into the cockpit as a member of the team, mastering complex stunts and formation flying, while aiming for realism in aircraft and flight characteristics. The controls are simplified to make the experience accessible to beginners. A key feature is the ability to perform spectacular formation flight with wingmen, and the page mentions plans for up to 4 players to fly together simultaneously, emphasizing the teamwork required for perfect aerial displays. The game faithfully reproduces real-world jet aircraft used by Blue Impulse, including the F-86F, T-2, and T-4 trainers, based on actual flight data and supervised by a former Blue Impulse pilot to ensure accuracy in handling and feel. The page showcases stunning screenshots of these aircraft performing maneuvers and flying in formation over various locations. A small data box indicates the game is a simulation genre title planned for a February '99 release, supporting up to 4 players, and was 30% complete as of October 15th. This page dives into Buggy Heat, a wild off-road racing game from Kring for the Dreamcast. The focus is on reproducing the raw power and excitement of buggy racing, highlighting dynamic vehicle physics with features like responsive suspension and detailed engine sounds. The game promises diverse off-road courses set in various locations, challenging players to conquer different terrains. Beyond just racing, Buggy Heat includes unique elements like training an AI driver who learns from your techniques, and extensive machine customization options, allowing you to create your own original buggy with custom paint, stickers, and tuning. Screenshots showcase the buggies in action across desert and forest environments, with visual effects like dust clouds and water splashes adding to the realism. The game supports various modes, including a championship to win and multiplayer races with up to 2 players on a split screen, alongside time attack and practice modes. Development was 30% complete at the time of this report, with a planned release in March '99, and the game supports the Puru Puru pack for vibration feedback. Cree aims to deliver a compelling off-road experience, emphasizing both driving skill and strategic development. This page introduces a new Dreamcast title, Gumon Sango Kushi, a simulation game based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, featuring stunning artwork by renowned artist Chen Yuen. The article highlights the game's focus on delivering a rich visual experience through detailed 2D graphics, emphasizing character portraits and event scenes rendered in Chen Yuen's distinctive style. Leveraging the Dreamcast's capabilities, the developers aim to fully realize these visuals, offering both high artistic quality and engaging gameplay. The game promises a large cast of characters, with around 400 warriors designed under Chen Yuen's supervision, each depicted with personality. Screenshots showcase the detailed map view, character portraits, and event illustrations, demonstrating the game's commitment to visual storytelling. There's also a brief profile of Chen Yuen, known for his work on Three Kingdoms art. The developer is Game Arts, known for their quality titles. The game is a simulation focused on strategy and historical events, presented through beautiful artwork. This page showcases the upcoming Dreamcast title, Incoming, a high-octane 3D shooting game pitting humanity against an alien invasion. The article highlights the game's focus on impressive visuals and intense near-future combat action. Players will fight to save the planet, engaging in mission-based scenarios across various locations, including Africa and the Arctic, as detailed in the revealed Scenario 1 and 2 content. A key feature emphasized is the ability to switch between different vehicles and weapon systems depending on the mission and situation, promising varied gameplay. Screenshots illustrate intense dogfights, ground attacks, and massive explosions, giving a taste of the action. The game is described as a mission-clear type multi-shooting game with over 20 types of vehicles, requiring players to master their controls to succeed. It was developed by Rage Software. This page features a countdown report on 2 upcoming Dreamcast titles. On the left, Capcom presents Power Stone, a 3D versus action game based on the Naomi arcade hardware. It's highlighted as not just a fighting game, but an action play experience, emphasizing free-form movement and interaction with the environment, such as climbing walls and using dropped items. The page shows illustrations of the diverse cast and vibrant in-game screenshots demonstrating the dynamic action. On the right, NEC Home Electronics previews 7th Cross, focusing on its unique combat system centered around X-Power. It's described like magic in an RPG. X-Power provides players with powerful special attacks that consume energy points. These attacks have 4 attributes: fire, water, wind, and electric, each with distinct effects and varying effectiveness based on the terrain, adding a strategic layer to combat. Screenshots showcase the visually impactful nature of these special abilities. A Dreamcast game, July, is detailed in a countdown report. The game follows 2 protagonists, Takamura Makoto, an ordinary student whose life is disrupted by a tragic accident, and Joshua, a fugitive seeking revenge. Makoto's story unfolds over July 7th and 8th, 1999, amidst strange events, while Joshua's involves a desperate escape from the police after witnessing a murder. Both narratives intertwine with the shadowy Nadix group and their leader, Jean Ligavan, as central antagonists. The report highlights elements of betrayal, conspiracy, and survival, presenting a character-driven adventure with parallel storylines. This page dives deeper into the thrilling mystery of July. Chapter 2, titled Memorial Service, continues the story following the bus explosion tragedy from 6 years prior, introducing characters like Suzuki and hinting at involvement with the Nadix group. The plot thickens as Eriko, Makoto, receives a mysterious magneto-optical disc, leading into Chapter 3, ominously titled Mo Megumi. This disc contains a program sharing the name of Eriko's deceased sister, capable of accessing external computers, and its activation triggers a violent incident at Eriko's home. Meanwhile, the narrative shifts to Joshua's path, exploring a massacre without a body. He teams up with reporter Mishima to investigate the aftermath of an event at Yatabe's house, finding blood, but no victim. The page also includes a glossary defining key terms, like the bus explosion accident, the powerful Raven conglomerate, likely connected to Jean Levin, and other crucial elements of the game's lore. This page reveals key plot points, including a mysterious Mo, a program named Megumi linked to a tragic past, and a bodiless massacre, escalating the game's central mysteries. This page gives us a closer look at Evolution, World of Sacred Device on the Dreamcast, a promising RPG from Sting. The core of the game revolves around dungeon exploration and battling monsters within ancient ruins. A key feature highlighted is the auto-making dungeon system, where the layout, monster placement, and items change every time you enter, ensuring each exploration is unique. Gameplay transitions seamlessly between real-time dungeon exploration and combat, initiating instantly upon encountering enemies. The battle system itself is described as a smooth, semi-real-time battle, where character actions are based on speed and command inputs are executed in real time, allowing for dynamic encounters. Special moves called Psy-frames are shown, serving as powerful attacks comparable to magic. The page also previews various dungeon types, including a submerged water dungeon and a dense forest dungeon filled with potential plant-based foes. Traps are emphasized as a significant danger, sometimes proving more perilous than the monsters themselves. Finally, the game's polygon characters are praised for their rich and expressive faces during event scenes, adding depth to the narrative. This looks like an exciting dungeon crawler with some unique twists on classic RPG mechanics. This page provides a detailed look at the courses in Pen Tricelon on the Dreamcast, covering the Sweet Course, Toy Course, and introducing new characters and mechanics. This page dives into 2 of the unique courses featured in Pen Tricelon, the Dreamcast racing game. First up is the Sweet Course, described as the most straightforward of the 4, ideal for beginners with its gentle curves and minimal gimmicks across areas like Jelly Hill and Fruity Forest. It's the place to get comfortable with the controls. Next is the more challenging Toy Course, packed with numerous complex gimmicks that demand precise technique. This course, featuring areas like Duckling Park, Bathtub Swim, Pinball Alley, and Block Castle, is longer and trickier, requiring mastery to navigate effectively and gain an edge over rivals. The page also unveils the Zakopen, the main rival characters in the Tricelon circuit, and the Dash Zone, a mechanic that grants speed boosts when passed through, adding another strategic layer to the races. This deep dive highlights the varied challenges players can expect in the game's different environments. This page is an advertisement for the Chou Zetsudai Jujutsurin 98 Autumn Edition, a comprehensive game guide and strategy book. It boasts coverage of games and techniques across all consoles available at the time, highlighted as the latest edition. The book is substantial, containing 1348 pages, and acts as a vast game catalog, listing over 7,700 titles. It particularly emphasizes techniques, detailing over 12,500 of them, including useful tips like invincibility and stage select, with completely revised game data. A key feature is the index, allowing users to search for games by genre or specific types of techniques. Published by Tokuma Shoten and Intermedia Company, it was priced at 1,280 yen. The page also includes an important announcement regarding an error found on page 352, providing a correction text block and instructions to fix details related to games like Hiryu no Ken's Golden Fighter, Pink Panther, and Bingo. This page features the announcement of the Sega Saturn Director's Cut version of Zoku Hatsukoi Monogatari Shugaku Ryoko, or Continued First Love Story School Trip. This is a visual novel/dating sim game, presented as a 4-SED set, with a tentative price of 7,800 yen and scheduled for release on December 3rd. The artwork showcases the charming character designs typical of the genre. As a bonus for the first press, trading cards drawn by Narumi Hatano are included, and there's also a campaign offering special charms. Notably, the first game, Hatsukoi Monogatari, is also getting a reprint. The page also includes the Hello from the Survey Postcards section, a recurring feature where readers share their opinions, particularly about the Sega Saturn's future. This segment highlights reader feedback on recently played games and personal gaming experiences. Games mentioned include strategy titles like World Advance Great Strategy and fighting games, along with other personal anecdotes. Additionally, the page includes rankings for the most and least interesting articles in a previous issue based on reader votes, alongside lists of winners from recent survey prize giveaways. This page delves into the core of the gaming scene, with multiple ranking charts derived from actual sales data and valuable reader feedback. The Saturn sales section provides a clear snapshot of the market over 3 consecutive weeks, highlighting top performers like the irresponsible Captain Tylor, The Blank of 3 Years, Shining Force 2i Scenario 3, Train Simulator X, and the enduringly popular Pia Heart Carrot 2. These charts reveal the current bestsellers and market momentum for the Saturn. Anticipating the future, the Dreamcast popularity ranking showcases reader excitement for upcoming titles on the new console. Games generating significant buzz include the visual novel Friends Seishun no Kagayaki, the latest entry in the beloved Sakura Wars, Taigoku Kagekidan series, and the adventure title She Seasons. This gives us insight into which Dreamcast titles are most eagerly awaited. Furthermore, the port request rankings reveal which games players are hoping to see on different platforms. Topping the list for Saturn ports is the fighting game giant Street Fighter Alpha 3, while Black Matrix leads the requests for Dreamcast. These lists reflect the desire to play popular titles across various systems. This page details Saturn sales rankings, Dreamcast anticipation rankings, and reader port requests, based on recent data and feedback. This page dives deep into reader feedback and game critiques, featuring rankings based on player input shortly after release. Topping the chart is Black/Matrix, receiving solid approval from players for its tactical combat and engaging story, although some reviewers offer critiques on certain aspects like character interaction and pacing. Coming in at number 2 is Slayers Royal 2, which is praised by fans, particularly for its faithfulness to the popular franchise, improved systems, and enjoyable character interactions, though some find minor issues with the combat or presentation. The rankings also highlight reader opinions on How to Be a Magician and Capcom Generation Volume 1, Wings of Destiny, giving insight into how these titles were received by the audience immediately following their release. This page features an insightful interview with the development team from Sikyo, known for arcade hits like Strikers 1945-2. Developers discuss the challenges and aspirations behind bringing their games to the Saturn, particularly focusing on achieving faithful ports and maintaining high standards of quality in both gameplay and visuals. They also share Psikyo's vision to expand beyond their reputation for shooting games and tackle various genres, touching upon the differences between 2D and 3D development. Complementing this, the page presents an extensive reader-driven ranking of the all-time best 40 Saturn software and invites readers to contribute reviews for upcoming titles. This page is a special feature dedicated to the legendary Sagata Sanshiro, the iconic mascot of the Sega Saturn in Japan, following the shocking news of his fate. It delves into his incredible impact on the Sega Saturn fanbase and his legacy, discussing his rise to fame through memorable commercials where he urged players to play Saturn games and even appeared at events. The article highlights his final, dramatic CM, where he sacrifices himself to save Sega headquarters from a missile attack, an event that cemented his heroic status. It includes images of actor Hiroshi Fujioka, who portrayed Sagata, posing with flowers, performing at a Sega event, and crucially, behind-the-scenes shots from his final CM, showing him battling on top of a missile and the extensive rigging used for the stunt. There's also a brief continuation of the discussion with Psikyo, focusing on their approach to creating shooting games and their philosophy, linking back to the genre prominence discussed on the previous page. A small section briefly mentions a report from Tokyo Game Show, 98 Autumn, and a gift giveaway. Overall, the page serves as a tribute to Sagata Sanshiro's enduring legend and his significant role in the Sega Saturn's history. This page is a reader survey and gift giveaway entry form. It's designed for Saturn fan readers to provide feedback and enter a contest. On the right side, it requires a 50 yen stamp and provides the mailing address for submissions. There are fields for personal details like address, name, and phone number. A key section asks readers to evaluate games they've played from a specific list, Table 4 on page 59, providing a performance report or review. Below this is a section to indicate which present from the current issue's giveaway the reader desires, by entering its corresponding number. The left side contains numerous numbered boxes and lines, likely for detailed responses to survey questions or breakdown of personal information, allowing readers to provide input on various topics related to the magazine and games. This ties into the brief mention of a gift giveaway on the previous page. This page centers around the iconic Sega character Sagata Sanshiro, featuring a special interview with the actor who portrayed him, Hiroshi Fujioka. Fujioka discusses his experiences playing Sagata and the passion behind the character, touching on the physical demands and the character's earnest approach to life. The page also introduces two related game titles. The first is Sagata Sanshiro Shinken Yugi, a Sega Saturn title packed with 10 different minigames based on Sagata's various exploits shown in commercials, promising bonus footage upon clearing them. Screenshots show minigames like breaking roof tiles and a block-dropping puzzle game. The second title is a PC game, Sagata Sanshiro Chohito Densetsu, described as a database of Sagata's history, including CM footage and potentially original stories, with contributions from notable creators. The page also mentions a gift giveaway for signed items from Hiroshi Fujioka. This page presents a special report on Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 3, Tabidachi no Uta for the Sega Saturns. This marks the third installment in the drama series, focusing on the emotional journey of the protagonists as they navigate relationships towards graduation. The two main heroines highlighted are the familiar face Shiori Fujisaki, dealing with the potential shift from childhood friend to something more, and Mimori Katagiri, a mysterious new girl who enters the protagonist's life. The page features numerous screenshots showing interactions with both Shiori and Mimori in various settings, from school to dates. The gameplay system is described as building upon the previous titles, utilizing conversation choices and interactive minigames to influence the story's progression. Excitingly for fans, several beloved characters from the main Tokimeki Memorial series, including Mei Ijuin, Ai Mihara, and Nozomi Kiyokawa, are confirmed to make guest appearances, adding extra depth and fan service. The game is an adventure title, set to release on Sega Saturn. This page provides an update on the Sega Saturn port of the game Friends, noting that it's undergoing significant enhancements beyond a simple transfer. Key improvements include the addition of over 30 newly drawn illustrations and refined system features like a time display and controls optimized for the Saturn, including mouse support. The report highlights the ongoing development of full-spec motion, promising more detailed and complex character animations. The game will be released on 2 creds, with the second disc containing bonus material like a fan disc or mini-drama. The page features several anime-style illustrations and screenshots, showcasing the game's characters and various in-game scenes, including a tennis match and intimate character moments. The next page provides a detailed look at the main event in the Sega Saturn version of the game, Friends, which is a 6-night, 7-day reunion trip. It breaks down the activities day by day, starting with arrival and free time, followed by events like tennis practice, a swimsuit scene by the water, a test of courage night, a barbecue by the river, and concluding with a fireworks festival on the final days. The page features numerous illustrations depicting key moments and character interactions during these events, highlighting the enhanced visuals and expanded content available in this port. It showcases various characters participating in the activities, giving players a preview of the relationship building and story progression that occurs throughout the trip. This page dives deep into Taigeki Graph, presented as a minigame collection for the Sega Saturn, that offers surprising volume and content beyond just quick play experiences. It's highlighted as a standalone title with significant depth, including theatrical information, interviews, and new minigames not found elsewhere. The page details several of these minigames, like one where you cast characters for a special performance by clearing minigames around a map, or W's Target, which is a fast-paced game of catching thrown items while dodging hazards. There's also a rhythm game featuring Ugami and Sumair playing piano and dancing, and a Sakura Wars-themed shogi game with unique character pieces. Another featured game is Koi Koi Taisen 2, a Hanafuda card game starring characters from different divisions. The game was clearly a hit at the game show, with fans eager to play the demo. The full release promises extensive content spread across 2 discs, including various minigames, numerous illustrations, quizzes, interviews with voice actors, and even footage related to TV commercials. It's framed as a title dedicated to supporting Sakura Wars fans, packed with enjoyable activities and bonus materials. This page unveils Etude Prologue, a Sega Saturn title centered around a youth story set in the final semester of high school. Players choose to experience the narrative through the eyes of either male protagonist Tatsuya or female protagonist Shizune, each perspective offering a distinct path. The core gameplay involves navigating the school environment, engaging in conversations with classmates to gather information, and making choices that significantly influence character relationships and branch the story. You'll manage player and character data using a handy in-game system notebook that tracks compatibility and messages. Beyond exploration and dialogue, players can boost their characters' abilities through part-time jobs after school or by succeeding in various minigames that appear during events or work. The game showcases impactful story moments with high-resolution, full-screen event visuals. It shapes up to be a classic high school adventure, emphasizing character interaction and the consequences of your decisions as you head towards graduation. The game was released on the Sega Saturn. This page dives into Shizen, a captivating adventure game bringing its story across 2 seasons, autumn and winter, to the Sega Saturn. Following up on the spring and summer content previously covered, this article explores the distinct narratives of these later seasons. In autumn, the focus is on Ikutsuki, a boisterous junior with a strong sense of justice. The story here follows a more straightforward path initially, but subsequent playthroughs reveal branching choices. The winter segment centers around Rinon, a frail girl suffering from an incurable illness, leading to a more poignant and sorrowful tale. The game features rich character interactions, illustrating moments like the protagonist's self-proclaimed lover Reika and Rinon's nurse Mizuho. The narrative unfolds through event scenes, including a touching Christmas date illustration and tense confrontations. Beyond the main story, clearing the game unlocks special content. The music mode allows players to listen to the game's soundtrack, immersing themselves in the seasonal moods. The CG gallery showcases the beautiful event visuals unlocked during play, encouraging multiple playthroughs to see them all. Originally a PC title, She's Men made its way to the Saturn, promising a memorable seasonal adventure. This page introduces Falcom Classics 2 for the Sega Saturn, featuring remakes of 2 classic Nihon Falcom titles, Temple of the Sun, originally Azteca 2, and YS2. This compilation follows up the previous Falcom classics. Temple of the Sun is presented as a mystery-solving adventure set in ancient Mayan ruins. Originally released on the PC-88, the Saturn version maintains the core experience of exploring complex maps and using items to progress, emphasizing intellectual challenges and attention to detail. YS2, Ancient YS Vanished. The final chapter continues the saga from YSI. This action RPG, retains the signature bump combat system, where you attack enemies by running into them. The article highlights the game's story, focusing on Adol's journey and interactions with characters like Lilia, leading to the final confrontation in Darm Tower. The Saturn version boasts enhanced graphics, music, and includes bonus content like character illustrations and a music mode, promising a polished return to this beloved classic. Both games are presented as faithful yet enhanced ports for the Saturn platform. This page dives into Capcom Generation 3 for the Sega Saturn, a compilation bringing together 4 early arcade gems from Capcom's history. Described as a Capcom chronicle and a history book, this third volume focuses on the company's foundational works. The compilation features Vulgus, Capcom's very first arcade game, a vertical scrolling shooter notable for introducing characters like Suka-san from Fuma Gokuden. Next up is Sansen, a side-scrolling shooter/platformer known for its unique level structure, where you climb between platforms and its charming characters. The game includes items like POW that change enemies into food, and this compilation even adds a karaoke mode based on the game's music. Higemaru, a distinct puzzle action title, involves defeating enemies by throwing barrels on fixed screens, a gameplay style unusual for Capcom at the time. Finally, X'd X's is another vertical scrolling shooter with a system tied to Vulgus, featuring challenging enemies and a unique boss presentation. Beyond the games themselves, the compilation boasts a robust collection mode. This mode goes beyond simple ports, offering valuable historical materials such as original planning documents for X'd X's, character art, sound tests, and unlockable secrets. Playing these titles in order provides a clear sense of Capcom's early evolution. The games can be played in their original vertical aspect ratio, adding to the authentic arcade experience. This page emphasizes that history begins here, with these pioneering Capcom titles. This page showcases 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left we have Honkaku Hanafuda, a game dedicated to traditional Japanese Hanafuda card games. It features 3 popular variations: Koi Koi, Hachi Hachi, and Oichokabu. Players can enjoy a story mode, where they travel across Japan, competing against various characters, or simply jump into free play. The game also includes detailed rule explanations to help newcomers learn the ropes. Screenshots show character portraits and game layouts. On the right is Rock 6 = 6, an intriguing puzzle game that merges dice and falling blocks. Blocks featuring dice faces numbered 1 through 6 descend, and players must clear them by matching 2 blocks with the same number, with the number determining how many blocks can be cleared vertically or horizontally between them. Creating chains clears blocks more effectively. The game offers 2 modes: Single Mode, where difficulty increases with more block colors appearing, and Versus Mode, where clearing blocks sends obstacles to your opponent. A special flashball item helps clear large groups of blocks. Screenshots illustrate the unique dice block gameplay and the 2-player competitive screen. This page features revivals of classic action games. On the left, the Sega Ages series brings 2 beloved Disney adventures from the Genesis era to the Saturn: Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, and Quackshot starring Donald Duck. Castle of Illusion sees Mickey platforming through a magical castle to rescue Minnie, collecting gems, and using his signature hip attack to defeat enemies. Quackshot follows Donald as he searches the world for treasure, navigating various locations and utilizing his unique plunger gun, which can fire different types of ammo, to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles. Both titles are celebrated for their charming graphics and solid platforming gameplay. On the right, Taito's classic Bubble Symphony, known in Japan as Mizubaku Daibuken, gets the spotlight. As a follow-up to the iconic Bubble Bobble, this action game features the protagonist, Hippopo, who uses water balloons to fight enemies and restore peace. Gameplay involves navigating levels, using the water balloon attack, which can grow in size, defeating bosses, and collecting power-ups that enhance Hippopo's abilities. An interesting feature is the branching paths determined by which door you choose after defeating a boss, leading to different stages. This page dives into upcoming Sega Saturn software, kicking off with excitement about the long-awaited game debut of Sagata Sanshiro, the iconic character from Sega's Japanese commercials. While the full review isn't here, the anticipation is clear. The page then presents impressions and reviews for several games slated for release in the latter half of October. First up is Rock X, a puzzle game featuring unique dice-based mechanics that reviewers found challenging and requiring strategic thinking, noting its difficulty but acknowledging the novelty. Next is Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, a highly anticipated fighting game collaboration. Reviewers praised the large roster of Marvel and Street Fighter characters and the fast-paced, exciting gameplay, though they noted it might be tough for newcomers. It requires the 4 MB RAM card, which is highlighted. Following that is Strikers 1945-2, a classic-style vertical shoot-'em-up. The game was lauded for its polished graphics, engaging mechanics, and satisfying challenge, described as a deep and expertly crafted STG experience. Finally, the page revisits the Sega Ages collection featuring Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Quackshot starring Donald Duck, which were mentioned on the previous page. Here, they are formally reviewed, receiving solid scores. The collection is highlighted as a great value, bringing charming classic action games to the Saturn that are enjoyable for players of all ages, proving these Genesis gems hold up well. This page continues with impressions and reviews for more upcoming Sega Saturn releases. First up is Liquid Kids, an arcade port that reviewers found charming with its bubble-based gameplay, though some felt it was a bit dated, despite being fun. Next is Virtual Fighter, a dating simulation game where reviewers appreciated the character designs and smooth gameplay flow. There's also a side note highlighting the appeal of specific characters and the use of voice acting. The page then covers Falcom Classics 2, a compilation featuring ports of classic PC games like YS2 and Azteca 2. While reviewers praised the enduring quality of these older titles and their music, they acknowledged a lack of novelty compared to modern games. Finally, the unique minigame collection Sagata Senshiro Shinken Yugi is reviewed. Reviewers enjoyed the concept and the minigames themselves, finding it a light but entertaining experience that capitalizes on the popularity of the iconic character. Some saw it as a fun commemorative piece. This page features 2 upcoming visual novels from Kid, showcasing their distinct art styles and premises. On the left is Ruri Guro no Yuki, Lapis Lazuli Snow, which appears to be a dramatic or mystical story, featuring a beautiful character in traditional attire against a snowy, starlit background. The accompanying text evokes a sense of emotion and winter. It's slated for a December 1998 release at 6,800 yen. There's also a special reservation campaign offering an original photo stand clip. The right side introduces 6-inch My Darling, a charming adventure game centered around 3 small girls from a world of imagination who appear from a mysterious box. The story involves spending 15 days with them, deepening bonds, and potentially helping them become human. The artwork is vibrant and shows the main trio, etc., Bim, and Minty. This title is also scheduled for December 1998 release, priced slightly lower at 5,800 yen. Pre-ordering nets you a set of 3 original pin badges featuring the characters. The page also lists the voice cast for the main characters. This page dives into the world of arcade hits with a strategy guide for Sega's Ocean Hunter. This impressive game, powered by Sega's Model 3 hardware, is highlighted for its stunning underwater graphics and unique atmosphere. The article provides tips for navigating the challenging deep-sea environment and tackling its monstrous inhabitants. It emphasizes that basic strategy relies heavily on memorizing enemy patterns, unlike some other shooters with random movements. Saving fellow divers is crucial, as it can grant life-ups or even unlock alternate routes. The guide breaks down the initial stage, covering the coral reef area and the treacherous interior of a sunken ship, detailing enemies encountered like sharks and sea serpents, and highlighting hidden treasures. Finally, it provides a detailed look at the Stage 1 boss, the mighty Kraken, advising players on how to avoid its tentacle attacks and target weak points like its eyes to deal damage and survive. Overall, the page positions Ocean Hunter as a challenging yet rewarding arcade experience that benefits from tactical play and observation. This page showcases Sega AM3's arcade off-road racer, Dirt Devils, presenting it as a realistic and intense experience. The game features various courses, including Canyon, Stadium, and the technical Twin City 400, each offering unique challenges like rough terrain, jumps, and shortcuts. Players can choose from 5 distinct vehicles, such as the sturdy Humvee or the agile Desert Buggy, each with different handling characteristics suitable for beginners to advanced players. The page highlights the impressive graphics, dynamic backgrounds, and real vehicle action, recommending different camera views like the detailed cockpit perspective. Additionally, the page covers the conclusion of the Cyber Troopers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram National Tournament. It details the event, features photos of the competition and developers, and announces the winner, emphasizing the competitive spirit and skillful play seen at the event. A small closing remark reflects on the excitement and outcomes of the tournament series. This page features a look at some exciting arcade titles and a peek into Sega's karaoke future. At the top, we have Spike Out, a cooperative 3D beat-em-up where teamwork is key, especially against the tough bosses. Mastering weapon use and managing the chaotic brawls is essential. Next is Astromall, another beat-em-up where you're fighting hordes of Yakuza that emphasizes basic throws and strategic use of environmental weapons to deal with the numerous enemies and challenging bosses. The big arcade game feature is Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. This is a highly anticipated rail shooter based on the classic films. The game features 3 missions, seemingly covering moments from A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Screenshots show intense action like the Death Star trench run, fighting AT-ATs on Hoth, and engaging in speeder bike chases on Endor, promising thrilling gameplay that captures the feel of the movies. Finally, the page highlights a revolutionary Sega karaoke system, Dream Song, announced at an event. This system is compatible with the upcoming Dreamcast and includes features like atmosphere creation, voice manipulation, and connectivity via the Visual Memory System, VMS. It looks like Sega is bringing advanced karaoke experiences home. This page delves into the arcade scene, featuring 2 exciting titles. First up is Konami's long-awaited return of the legendary shoot-'em-up series with Gradius IV. Described as a complete revival, the game brings back the classic power-up system, offering 6 distinct types to choose from, along with different shield options, while the ship design nods to the original Gradius. The preview showcases several stages under development, including the return of the iconic Moai enemies, a visually impressive bubble stage that blends ideas from Gradius 2 and 2i, a challenging volcano stage featuring revival cells, and a new plant stage with a boss reminiscent of Gradius 2i's first stage. The page also highlights Bloody Roar 2 from Mating. This sequel to the unique fighting game continues the concept of characters transforming into beasts for combat. The article mentions system refinements, visual enhancements, and the addition of new characters. A significant new feature discussed is the Beast Drive, a powerful ultimate move available in beast form. These character-specific attacks are highlighted as impactful, strategic tools that can lead to dramatic reversals in a fight, adding depth to the gameplay. The visuals for both games look promising, showcasing the series' signature styles. Tokyo Game Show '98 saw record attendance, largely driven by Sega's Dreamcast. The Sega booth dominated, featuring hands-on demos of the console and upcoming games like Virtua Fighter 3TB. President Irimajiri's presence heightened excitement. Beyond the Dreamcast, the show included voice actor appearances, a dangerous creator talk battle featuring industry leaders like Kojima and Okamoto discussing the future of gaming, and new game announcements like Sakura Wars 3 for the DC. Portable gaming options like the WonderSwan also drew attention. The overall atmosphere was vibrant, with elaborate costumes and themed cheerleaders. This page delves into various aspects of the gaming world, starting with exciting news about the Bandai WonderSwan portable console, previously hinted at during the Tokyo Game Show. It details the 16-bit system's features, including its estimated release date in March 1999, price, long battery life, and unique ability to play both vertically and horizontally. Over 30 companies are supporting the platform, with titles like Namco's Famicom Stadium and Bandai's Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon in development. Beyond hardware, the page covers events like the 7th World Character Convention and a nationwide Christmas event at Joyopolis locations, featuring a giant tree and Dreamcast experiences. A significant news topic is the escalating issue of used software sales, highlighting a lawsuit filed by a major retailer against Enix regarding distribution practices, involving discussions with the Fair Trade Commission and CISA. The page also includes a guide to new music and video releases related to games, featuring OVAs like Slayer's Excellent and Blue Submarine No. 6, and a drama CD for Even Burst Error. Finally, there's a chance to win various game-related prizes by identifying the most interesting article in this news section. This page serves as the Saturn Soft Navigator, giving us a preview of upcoming software. We kick off with 7-star fighting god Guyford, Crown Destruction Operation, an interactive movie action title based on the TV show, putting you against the evil Crown organization with combat and minigames. Next, fans of Eternal Melody can look forward to the Ensemble Collector's Disc, packed with side stories and unreleased scenarios, featuring familiar characters in various game locations, like the town and a shop. The RPG simulation Farland Saga 2 is highlighted, where you embark on quests from a guild, explore a detailed town, and engage in grid-based battles to increase your fame and power. For Mahjong enthusiasts, there's My Fair Lady Virtual Mahjong 2, a sequel featuring a character whose outfit changes based on your play, and Real Pro Mahjong Guide, Tsuwamono, letting you challenge real professional Mahjong players. Finally, the classic dungeon crawling returns with Wizardry, Logamin Saga, compiling the challenging first 3 games, Wizardry 1, 2, 2Y, allowing character transfers between titles, and featuring deep exploration and monster battles in treacherous dungeons. It's a solid lineup covering diverse genres for Saturn owners. This page showcases anticipated titles for both Sega Saturn and Dreamcast, featuring status updates and a comprehensive release calendar. For Saturn, we see updates on Derby Stallion, showing promising race scenes at Tokyo Game Show, Friends, Radiance of Youth, a visual novel looking polished despite a small delay, and Sakura Wars Tanitograph, which seems to be progressing well. On the Dreamcast side, there's excitement for Sonic Adventure, with hints of hidden fun yet to be revealed. We also get previews of Seven Cross, a monster battling game, Pen Pen Trisalon featuring a racing penguin, and the mysterious horror title July. The visual novel Kita Hi, White Illumination is progressing well, with voice recordings complete, and Warp's intriguing D2 is confirmed to be in development, though moving slowly. The page also includes release calendars, detailing numerous upcoming Saturn and Dreamcast titles, along with Dreamcast peripherals, listing release dates, and prices. Finally, a breaking news section mentions Sega's involvement with a video system, and a tentative Fry 1 game for Dreamcast, hinting at future racing possibilities. This page prominently features artwork for the love simulation game Virtual Call Ennis, showing 2 cheerful anime characters, one holding a distinctive sword. The game is scheduled for release on October 29th. Details are provided for a limited edition that includes a special Yobika-kun voice feature across 2 discs, and a standard single-disc edition. The left side of the page provides information about the magazine's next issue, planned for release on November 6th. It highlights upcoming coverage, including a deep dive into the Dreamcast launch, and anticipated titles like Virtua Fighter 3TB. The section also features a preview of the Dreamcast fan pre-issue, again mentioning Virtual Call Us and inviting reader participation. The page includes indices listing featured games for both Sega Saturn and Dreamcast, as well as an index of advertisements. This page features Falcom Classics 2 for the Sega Saturn, released on October 29, 1998. This compilation brings 2 classic Nihon Falcom titles to the console: the action RPG sequel YS2 and the mystery adventure Azteca 2, The Sunken City of Mystery. YS2 is highlighted as concluding the story of the first game, with a strong narrative and characters. The game comes in 2 versions: a premium limited edition, including a music CD, and a standard edition. Both include bonus digital content like original image files and character levels. The page also promotes a special Twin Operator Pack, a Sega Saturn add-on that enables video CD and photo CD playback, and a lottery campaign offering a limited telephone card featuring YS characters to 100 winners who purchase the game. It also mentions the success of the previous release, Falcom Classics, which included the first YS game. This page is the cover or lead page for a special appendix included with the November 6th issue of Saturn Fan Magazine. It features a massive strategy and data collection for the most popular Sega Saturn games, as chosen by the magazine's readers and recommended by the editorial staff. Titled, Reader-Selected Saturn Popular Software Strategy Data Complete Collection, this permanent preservation edition covers a total of 28 titles. It promises to include every useful piece of strategy data, making use of charts, maps, and illustrations for easy understanding and a complete breakdown of the games. The artwork features the magazine's logo and a futuristic design of metallic blocks. This page kicks off the actual strategy guide content, following the introduction. On the left is the comprehensive table of contents for this special appendix, broken down into categories like RPG, Simulation RPG, and Adventure, listing all the featured games. The main focus on the right is the guide for Grandia, proudly highlighted as the #1 ranked RPG by readers. The guide dives right into the core of its battle system, explaining the IP gauge and how mastering it, along with smart character training focusing on simplicity, speed/agility, is key to success. It covers essential tactics like interrupting enemy attacks using the IP gauge and tips for utilizing recovery magic effectively. There's also a section on navigating and tackling the unique challenges presented by special stages, like the Tower of Temptation and Warrior's Training Ground, which offer tough fights and rewards. This guide promises to equip players, whether beginners or veterans, with the knowledge to conquer Grandia. This page delves deeper into the mechanics of Grandia, specifically focusing on the essential elements that power up your party: magic, character skills, and ability-enhancing items. On the left, you get a breakdown of magic spells, organized by element: earth, water, fire, and wind. It lists crucial stats, like the required level, SP cost, and effect, giving you a clear picture of what each spell does and when you unlock it. The main content covers ability-enhancing items and character-specific skills. The item list details various pieces of equipment and accessories, from weapons like swords and axes to armor, shields, boots, and rings. Each entry tells you what ability it enhances, like attack, defense, speed, or specific resistances, and which characters can equip it. Knowing which items boost which stats and who can use them is key to optimizing your party's power. Across the top right, you'll find a comprehensive list of unique skills for each character, including Justin, Fina, Sue, Liate, Gadwin, Milda, and Rap. This section outlines the SP cost, range, IP effect, and notes for each skill, showing off their distinct combat abilities and strategic uses, like interrupting enemy actions on the IP gauge. Mastering the interplay between magic, skills, and the right equipment is fundamental to success in Grandia, and this page provides the vital data you need to build a formidable team capable of overcoming any challenge. This page delves deep into the demon fusion system in Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, presented as a guide for both beginners and advanced players. It explains how combining different demons is essential to creating new, more powerful allies. The guide starts by detailing the basic 2-body and 3-body fusion processes, showing extensive tables that illustrate the resulting demon race based on the races of the fused demons and their alignment: light, neutral, or dark. While the full tables are complex, they cover the vast possibilities within the system. Moving into more advanced topics, the page highlights special fusion types, like hero fusion, which creates powerful hero-type demons under specific conditions. General fusion yields formidable general demons. Rage God fusion is tied to the moon phase, and rare beast/secret god fusions have unique triggering conditions, sometimes involving fusion accidents. Finally, it lists specific special combinations that result in unique and powerful demons, detailing some notable examples. The page includes several screenshots showcasing various demon sprites, giving a visual taste of the creatures players can create through fusion. The content emphasizes the strategic importance of understanding these mechanics to build a strong demon team. This page delves into the core mechanics surrounding Nemissa, focusing on her magical abilities and the vital install software system in Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers. It explains that Nemissa's magic proficiency and the spells she learns are tied to her type, which changes based on choices made during the story across 3 main alignments: fire, ice, and electric. A detailed chart shows the specific spells she acquires as she levels up, depending on which type she currently embodies. Mastering her type changes is key to accessing different magical skill sets. Next up is the comprehensive guide to install software. These aren't just utilities. They are crucial programs that enhance exploration, provide combat advantages, and even aid in demon management. The page includes a lengthy table detailing the various software available, how to obtain them, whether through shops, events, or other means, and their specific effects, which range from displaying maps and enemy info, to boosting stats, or facilitating demon fusion. Finally, a small section highlights 2 optional hidden events players can discover, one located in the Amami Bypass, and another in the VR Park. These provide additional content beyond the main storyline. This page features the 3rd and 4th ranked RPGs, diving into essential tips and guides for each. Coming in at number 3 is Magic Knight Ray Earth, with a comprehensive guide to finding all the vital amulets scattered throughout the game. It highlights how these collectibles are hidden in various locations, and provides a handy map showing where to look, including notes on those requiring special actions to obtain. Ranked 4th is Far East of Eden, the 4th Apocalypse. This section details how to effectively use the loot acquired in battle via the Hunter Guild and PLGS systems. It also explains the significance of the game's internal clock, crucial for triggering events like receiving items from the girls involved in the Daddy Longlegs quest upon their graduation. Finally, the Ultech section offers various pro tips and secrets. It covers advanced techniques like using MP efficiently, a guide to the photo collection side quest, tips for faster map movement, and how to remove menu text for cleaner screenshots. There's also a focus on the Las Vegas area, detailing mini-games like the Manapot, and earning money through the clock division. This page features the 5th-ranked RPG, Atelier Marie, the Alchemist of Salzburg, offering a comprehensive guide to mastering this alchemical adventure. It kicks off by explaining how to efficiently produce items, highlighting the importance of managing MP and taking rests, and how selling items can help fund your efforts. The guide also details how to utilize helpful fairies for production tasks, which is key to mass synthesis. A significant portion is dedicated to acquiring specific items needed for game progression and collection, listing where to find them, or the conditions required to trigger events that yield them. There's a helpful checklist of various item gathering spots you'll need to frequent. For combat and exploration, the page lists the available adventurers you can hire, detailing their stats and hire costs, allowing you to build an effective party. Battle strategies are provided for key bosses like Zeppelberg and the final encounters. Finally, it outlines the conditions for achieving the game's multiple endings, ranging from simply reaching level 4 to completing the item encyclopedia or defeating the final boss. It also includes a note on special events tied to the console's internal clock, a cool feature for dedicated players. This is a must-read for anyone aiming for 100% completion in Atelier Marie. This page is dedicated to the highly acclaimed Super Robot Wars FE and its conclusion, Super Robot Wars FE Final, both ranking at the top of the simulation RPG category in reader polls. It provides a concise overview of the games, including reader scores for overall enjoyment, character appeal, music, value, and ease of play. A major focus is the deep dive into gameplay mechanics, starting with a comprehensive list of pilots and the spirit commands they learn throughout the game. Spirit commands are vital special abilities in Super Robot Wars that consume SP to provide tactical advantages, such as boosting stats, healing, or ensuring hits. The table details which pilot learns which command at what level, accompanied by a legend explaining the effects of each command. The page also offers an extensive breakdown of the game's scenario progression and branching paths, along with data on special abilities. This section lays out the flow of the story, detailing events and likely important units or abilities encountered along the way, incorporating elements from the many different anime series featured in the crossover. It's a key resource for players navigating the game's complex narrative and maximizing their team's potential. This page serves as a comprehensive guide to obtaining unlockable pilots and units in Super Robot Wars FE and Super Robot Wars FE Final across all 118 scenarios. It continues the discussion of game mechanics from the previous page by detailing pilot-specific unique skills like deflect and potential, as well as unit special abilities such as beam coat, I-field, and at-field. The core of the page focuses on the specific conditions required to recruit a wide array of characters throughout the game. It lists numerous pilots, including fan favorites like Todd Guinness, Heyman Karn, the Gundam Wing pilots duo Maxwell, Trowa Barton, and Hiro Yui, as well as various Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam and ZZ Gundam characters like 4 Murasame, LPOPLE, and PLE2. Each entry specifies the scenario number and the actions needed to convince them to join your team, often referencing specific events or dialogue choices. Additionally, the page provides crucial information on how to access the Evangelion route, and lists special units and characters that are acquired based on initial game choices and route branching decisions, such as the Real Robot Path versus the Super Robot Path, or the Poseidon route. Character portraits are included next to their recruitment details, helping players identify who they can unlock. This is an invaluable resource for players aiming to build the ultimate team and see all the game has to offer. This page serves as an exhaustive guide for players seeking to unlock additional characters and mobile suits in Super Robot Wars F and F Final. It details the specific scenario conditions required to recruit a vast roster of pilots and acquire unique units, covering series such as Mobile Suit Gundam 0083, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, New Mobile Report Gundam Wing, Aura Battler Dunbine, and many others. Featured prominently are entries for characters like Annabelle Gateau, Master Asia, Alan B. Beardsley, and the Wing Gundam pilots duo Maxwell, Trowa Barton, and Hiro Yui, among others. Each entry provides the exact scenario number and the necessary actions, often involving specific dialogue choices or defeating certain enemies to convince them to join your team. The page also highlights special unlockable units like the camouflaged Bilbine and Todd's Dunbine, detailing their acquisition methods. Furthermore, a significant section explains the bonus system for fully upgrading units, revealing that many units receive powerful additional weapons and combat stat bonuses upon reaching maximum upgrade levels, encouraging strategic resource management. Character and unit portraits accompany most entries, providing a visual reference for the unlockables. This information is crucial for players aiming to complete their roster and maximize their unit capabilities. This page features guides for 2 highly regarded simulation RPGs from the reader rankings. The first is Dragon Force, appearing at number 3. This section breaks down how to strengthen your units beyond just battle experience, detailing the crucial role of equipping items to boost various stats. It includes information on where to find different items throughout the game world, and provides an overview of the types of equipment available, covering weapons, armor, accessories, and consumables, and their general effects on your characters. Ranked at number 4 is Langrisser V, The End of Legend. This guide focuses on the game's significant heroine relationship system, explaining how player actions and dialogue choices directly impact relationships, which are key to achieving the game's different endings. It outlines the conditions required to trigger specific scenario events that influence these relationships, providing essential information for players aiming for a favorable conclusion. Screenshots of both games are featured, including combat visuals for Dragon Force and character art for Langrisser V. This page continues the coverage of Langrisser V, The End of Legend, diving into deeper gameplay mechanics. It provides an in-depth look at how characters develop, detailing the impact of class changes on ability scores. While the specific numbers are extensive, the guide outlines the class paths for key heroes like Ramda, Alfred, and Claret, showing their potential job advancements. A major focus is the reveal of conditions for accessing hidden scenarios, a staple of the Langrisser series. The guide details exactly how to unlock scenarios 1 through 5, often tied to precise actions within earlier missions or specific locations on the map, illustrated by helpful screenshots. Further tips reveal the function of rune stones and hidden commands, including access to a secret shop and a scenario selection option, offering players more control and replayability. This page offers a detailed strategy guide for Langrisser IV, a popular entry in the simulation RPG series, ranked 5th by readers. The guide delves into key gameplay mechanics, starting with comprehensive information on character class changes, showing the various progression paths for the main cast, and how the protagonist's class is determined by early game choices. A major focus is on the game's branching narrative, explaining how player decisions lead to 3 distinct story routes, A, B, or C, each featuring unique events and potential allies. The guide also unveils the conditions required to access hidden scenarios, often tied to specific actions or exploration within certain maps, and reveals hidden commands, including a secret shop and a scenario selection feature, enhancing replayability. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate the discussed mechanics and locations. This page provides an in-depth guide to Langrisser IV, covering character class changes, branching story routes, conditions for hidden scenarios, and details on secret commands. This page dives deep into Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. Hailed here as the originator of dating simulations and highly popular, it's presented as the ultimate guide to romancing the game's 12 girls, focusing on the 11 you can meet before confessing to your chosen one at the end. The page profiles each of the 11 main girls, detailing how to trigger their appearance, their preferred movies and music, and the character parameters you should focus on raising to win their hearts. You'll find tips tailored to each personality type, from the sporty tomboy to the studious bookworm, and even hints on which date spots work best with whom, though the full compatibility chart is quite detailed. Beyond the individual girl strategies, the guide offers some interesting tricks for experienced players, including methods to start the game with maxed out parameters, or even begin with all girls already interested in you. It also reveals how to use the in-game phone to call girls, and even how to unlock extra karaoke songs for dates. Screenshots show various scenes and character portraits from the game, illustrating the charming world of Tokimeki Memorial. This page presents a comprehensive strategy guide for the Sega Saturn title, Senkutsu Katsuryu Taisen Chaos Seed, a unique simulation RPG highlighted here for its ranking as a reader favorite. The core of the guide revolves around mastering the game's complex ending branches and utilizing its distinctive special Feng Shui system. The guide explains how the Feng Shui system allows players to imbue rooms within their base with new abilities based on elemental compatibility, crucial for strategy and progression. It then delves into the game's multiple scenarios, providing detailed flowcharts for several key paths, such as the Seal Gate and Earth God's Trap scenarios. These charts illustrate the choices and events that lead players down different routes and towards specific endings. The guide emphasizes understanding these branches to unlock all possible conclusions. Finally, the page includes a summary outlining the particular dialogue options or actions required to trigger each of the game's numerous endings, ensuring players can navigate the story exactly as they intend. Screenshots show the game's isometric base view, character portraits, and battle sequences, giving a glimpse into the strategic depth and visual style of Chaos Seed. This page dives into the world of J.League Pro Soccer Club Wo Tsukuru 2, offering a guide for new and experienced players on how to build a championship team. Ranked third in reader rankings, this soccer simulation game is all about mastering team management, starting from the basics. The guide emphasizes effective training and scouting to find standout players who can elevate your club. It details the scouting system, explaining how to acquire players by adding them to a wish list and scouting them over several weeks. Player acquisition is tied to the in-game year and budget, with a focus on younger players who have potential. A significant part of the strategy involves understanding player abilities, which are presented in a large table categorizing skills like passing, shooting, speed, stamina, and more on a scale from A's down to E. This table showcases numerous Japanese and foreign players, highlighting their starting capabilities. Crucially, the page explains player growth types, breaking down different patterns of development throughout a player's career, from rapid early bloomers to consistent developers and late bloomers. Understanding these types is key to long-term team planning and nurturing talent, ensuring players peak at the right time or have sustained careers. This level of detail shows the depth of the simulation, going beyond just playing matches to truly managing a football club from the ground up. J.League Pro Soccer Club Wo Tsukuru 2 requires more than just playing matches to succeed. Effective player development hinges on strategic training, manager selection, different managers excel at different training types, and smart financial management, particularly securing sponsors for facility upgrades. Custom player creation allows for personalized development, choosing keywords to influence growth. Sending players abroad for training in specific countries can target skill improvement. Player performance in matches also improves parameters, visualized in graphs, with different display styles highlighting various aspects of player development. This page dives into the strategic depths of Mobile Suit Gundam Giren's Ambition, ranking it at a respectable 4th place. This is a serious turn-based strategy game where you command one of the iconic factions from the Universal Century timeline, reliving or rewriting the One-Year War. The page highlights the accessible 3-turn mode, a simplified version perfect for quickly jumping into the game's strategic challenges. It also details the conditions for the emergence of alternative factions, like Neo Zeon and the Titans, which adds significant replayability and strategic complexity beyond the standard Zeon versus Federation conflict. Achieving certain objectives or making specific choices can drastically alter the game's trajectory, leading to entirely different wars. A major part of the page is dedicated to a comprehensive list of developable mobile suits and units. This table showcases the vast array of military hardware available, outlining development costs, prerequisite technologies or units, production costs, and key stats like mobility and attack power. It's essentially a tech tree preview, crucial for planning your military production and research throughout the game's extensive campaigns. Mastering this development is key to victory. This page features 2 popular games from the era, starting with Advanced World War, an SLG title ranked 5th by readers. This game delves into a 1,000-year empire theme, presenting players with a massive branching scenario system encompassing a total of 64 distinct paths. A detailed flowchart is provided, illustrating how player actions lead to different strategic situations and potential endings, emphasizing the game's replayability and complex narrative structure driven by player choice. The page then shifts focus to the top-ranked ADV game, Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die. This highly anticipated sequel is centered around building relationships and trust with the game's heroines. The article highlights the importance of the LIPS system for interactive choices and provides a profile for the main heroine, Sakura Shinguji. It also offers a strategic guide for the initial chapters, specifically detailing key moments and choices to effectively raise the trust levels with characters, essential for unlocking different story paths and endings. This page continues the guide for Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, focusing on building relationships and strategy for the early chapters. It introduces 3 more members of the Imperial Combat Review: Iris, Maria Tachibana, and Kana Kirishima. Profiles are provided for each character, including their age, origin, and voice actress. Iris is an 11-year-old French girl, Maria Tachibana is a 21-year-old Russian-Ukrainian sharpshooter, and Kana Kirishima is a 19-year-old from China/Japan with a strong personality. The profiles touch on their backgrounds and key traits that influence their interactions and the game's narrative. The guide covers episodes 1 through 4, detailing key moments and choices using the LIP system that impact the trust level, with Iris, Maria, and Kana. It outlines the flow of events in each chapter, including dialogue sequences, exploration on Imperial theater maps, and battle segments. Raising trust with these characters is highlighted as crucial for advancing the story and achieving favorable outcomes in battles, particularly mentioning Episode 4 as significant for Maria's story arc, where trust needs to be high. The guide emphasizes the importance of carefully selecting responses to strengthen bonds with the heroines. This page continues the in-depth guide for Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, delving further into the characters and gameplay mechanics. We get introductions to Lainey Milchstrasse and Sumire Kanzaki, complete with their profiles covering age, origin, and voice actress, alongside a brief mention of Kana Kirishima again. The guide breaks down key moments and strategies for chapters 2, 3, and 4, specifically highlighting events tied to these characters. It emphasizes using the LIP system effectively to build trust, which is crucial for gameplay advantages, and unlocking character-specific events, especially noting a significant event for Lanini in Chapter 4 that requires high trust. There's also a preview of the Imperial Theater map locations, and details about when characters appear, which is vital for planning interactions. The page concludes with some valuable final advice on how relationship building directly impacts combat performance and overall progression in the game. This page continues the comprehensive guide for the original Sakura Wars, highlighted as the second most popular adventure game by readers. It emphasizes navigating the Imperial Theater map and building relationships with the characters, stating that understanding their personalities and using the LIPS system effectively is key to success and unlocking events. The guide breaks down key sections of the game across chapters 1 through 6, providing details on locations within the Imperial Theater, which characters appear there during the day and night, and important events or interactions. This information is crucial for players looking to maximize trust with specific characters. Specific advice is given on building affection with Sakura, noting the importance of showing kindness and focusing attention on her, while also being mindful of interactions with other heroines like Iris, Sumire, Kana, and Maria. The guide stresses that relationship building directly impacts combat performance. Summary tips for various chapters cover important events, such as repairing the stage, investigating mysterious occurrences, strengthening Kubu mechs, dealing with specific character issues like Maria's troubles, Iris's date scenario, and preparing for battle and banquets. There's also a mention of a mini-game called Oshiparai Puzz, which appears to be a block-pushing puzzle involving rats. The guide concludes with advice on movement points and where to prioritize exploration. The next page continues the character guide for Sakura Wars, focusing on Sumire Kanzaki, Maria Tachibana, Kana Kirishima, and Iris Chateaubriand, detailing how to interact with them across chapters to build trust. For Sumire, the guide highlights her theatrical nature and interactions in her dressing room, emphasizing the importance of praise and handling her unique personality. It also mentions a dressing room minigame where you choose her outfit. Maria's section emphasizes her serious demeanor and the need for careful, thoughtful responses. Her guide covers interactions in her room and the importance of supporting her when she's troubled. A cooking minigame, Maria's Halaho, is featured, focusing on precision chopping. Kana's energetic and straightforward personality is the focus of her guide, detailing interactions in the cafeteria and other locations. There's mention of a puzzle minigame related to children's exploration. The section on Iris focuses on her childlike perspective, stressing the need for gentleness and attention, especially during her date scenario. It notes that her reactions can vary greatly. Her minigame involves changing her outfit, similar to Sumire's. Overall, the page provides essential tips for navigating character-specific events, succeeding in minigames tied to relationships, and maximizing trust with each heroine, to progress effectively through the game's story and battles. This page dives deep into the intricate world of Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. Focusing on its unique ADMs, auto-diverge mapping system, MAP, and the critical role of branching points. The guide highlights how this system automatically maps out the story's numerous paths, making it easier to track progress and achieve the coveted 100% clear rate. It explains the different types of branching, from simply moving to a new location to choices made by the player, conditions being met, or even using specific items. A key feature discussed is the use of jewel saves, allowing players to revert to any previously visited branch point on the ADM's map, which is essential for exploring alternate timelines and uncovering all story routes. The page provides a detailed look at navigating complex branches related to various characters like Mitsuki, Konomi, Yumi, Mio, and Kaori, explaining how specific choices or actions are needed to progress their stories. It also touches upon the confusing warp zones, which transport players to different locations. Finally, the guide features a section dedicated to obtaining important jewels, detailing 6 specific points where these vital items can be acquired, often tied to specific actions or puzzles. This is crucial for progressing through the game and accessing the parallel world. There's also a mention of a stone monument puzzle required to enter the parallel dimension. Overall, this is a vital resource for players aiming to fully unravel the game's complex narrative structure. The next page moves on to another classic adventure game, Kakusei. It's featured here at number 4 in the ADV ranking, highlighting its popularity at the time. The page explains that Kakusei's high degree of freedom can make it tricky to know where to go next, so this guide provides essential tips for completing each character's story. The main focus is a detailed breakdown for 11 different characters, including Senga. For each girl, the guide offers specific advice and lists key event scenes, locations, days, times, and conditions needed to trigger them, which is absolutely vital for players aiming to see all the content. There's even a note about special W events related to specific characters like and A, adding another layer to the gameplay. This is a must-have resource for navigating the romantic possibilities in Kakusei. The next page focuses on the acclaimed adventure title, Even Burst Error, which holds the 5th position in the ADV ranking featured in the magazine. This game is renowned for its innovative multi-site system, allowing players to experience the story from the perspectives of 2 different protagonists, Kojiro and Marina. Recognizing the complexity this system adds, the magazine provides a comprehensive strategy guide aimed at Saturn users. The guide offers a detailed walkthrough, structured by date, for both characters, highlighting crucial points and choices players need to make to fully explore the narrative. It breaks down the sequence of events, locations to visit, and actions to take day by day, which is essential for players to uncover all the game's secrets and reach the various endings. This guide serves as an invaluable resource for mastering Even Burst Error's intricate plot and unique gameplay mechanics. The page also includes basic release information and review scores for the game. This page dives into the dating simulation game Virtual Call S, highlighted as an editor's recommendation. It serves as a beginner-friendly guide to navigating the game's relationship system, starting from initial conversations all the way to successfully securing dates. The page outlines the core mechanics, such as the private dial system for connecting with girls and the lock-on feature to focus on a specific character you like. It explains the preparation needed, involving registering your name using a special in-game CD and interacting with objects in your virtual room, including equipping a virtual headgear, VHG. The guide doesn't just focus on one girl. It encourages players to check out other potential love interests as well. The latter half of the page features profiles for key characters like Arikawa Hikari, Fukami Madoka, Sakura Miyako, and Ebihara Ruria. For each girl, it provides strategic date guides that map out the sequence of choices players should make to progress successfully, illustrated with screenshots showing the characters and various date locations. It's a solid rundown for anyone looking to master the art of virtual dating in this Saturn title. The next page continues the comprehensive guide to Virtual Call S, expanding on the strategies for navigating the virtual dating scene. It features detailed profiles and date walkthroughs for several more key characters: Saionji Umeno, Fujishima Kaori, Morimoto Eri, Seto Koyoko, Kazaki Chisato, Mushano Koji Akari, and even a section on the mysterious Darling. Each character profile includes notes on how to approach their specific routes, and a step-by-step breakdown of successful dating sequences. Beyond individual character paths, the page offers expert tips on maximizing your playthroughs. It provides a chart demonstrating how to see multiple CG events in a single game, run by strategically balancing interactions with different girls. There are also sections explaining how choices influence the final outcomes, and revealing a hidden event related to the virtual headgear. Side notes cover features like using phone numbers in the game and clearing messages. The page is filled with character art and screenshots illustrating successful dates and key moments. It's a deep dive into mastering relationships and unlocking all the visual content in Virtual Callis. This page dives into the comprehensive strategy guide for Welcome to Pia Carrot 2, aiming for that coveted 100% CG gallery completion by conquering all 11 character routes. The guide emphasizes that mastering each character relies on carefully managing your own parameters and triggering specific events throughout the game's timeline. It briefly touches on the game's 6 minigames, noting that they play a role in unlocking certain items or characters. The core of the page is dedicated to individual character walkthroughs. Featured here are detailed plans for Azusa Hinamori, Tsukasa Inoki, Aoi Minase, Mina Hinamori, and Ryoko Futaba. Each character section breaks down their parameter priorities, provides an essential event calendar showing their locations on key dates, and lists critical events you need to hit to advance their story. These event descriptions include dates and brief details about what happens, often accompanied by small screenshots illustrating important CGs or scenes. It's a solid roadmap for navigating the complex branching paths and ensuring you don't miss crucial moments with your favorite waitresses. This page continues the deep dive into unlocking all the endings and CGs in Welcome to Pia Carrot 2 by providing strategic walkthroughs for 6 more waitresses. You'll find detailed plans covering key dates and locations for characters like Miki Shinohara, whose route focuses on time spent at home and the shop, or Tomomi Sawairu, who involves cleaning duties and relaxing hot spring events. The guide outlines essential parameters to prioritize for each character, such as kindness and guts for Mimiki, or balancing everything for Tomomi. Harue Yamana's path heavily features the park, while Kurumi Kinoshita's story centers around events at the Pia Carrot restaurant itself. Semi Midoribe's route is all about physical activity, requiring high guts and stamina for jogging and dishwashing events. Finally, Shion Kamisaka presents more unique special events, including trips to an amusement park and hot springs, making her route a bit less predictable but rewarding. Each section includes a handy calendar showing where to find the character on crucial days and lists specific events you absolutely must trigger, often with accompanying screenshots showing off those vital CGs. It's an indispensable resource for maximizing your playtime and ensuring you don't miss any key romantic moments or character development. This page is a comprehensive guide for players looking to collect every single item in Shining Force 2i. It's presented as a Bible for item acquisition, diving deep into the game's mechanics. The focus is primarily on hidden items, with detailed lists provided for both Scenario 1, God of the Royal Capital, and Scenario 2, The Targeted Child. The guide breaks down item locations by chapter, listing where players can find hidden treasures, often in unexpected places like barrels, pots, or specific map locations within towns or battlefields. It's invaluable for completionists who want to uncover every secret. Additionally, the page includes a section dedicated to the blacksmith system. It explains how item crafting works, detailing the process of combining materials or base weapons with items to create new, more powerful equipment. There's information on the required materials and the potential outcomes of the crafting process, helping players understand how to upgrade their gear effectively. This page is an essential resource for players aiming for 100% item completion in Shining Force 2i. This page dives into the details of Pro Yaku Team Wo Tsukuru, a professional baseball team simulation game where you take on the role of owner. The ultimate goal is building the strongest team, and this guide lays out the essential strategies to achieve that. The core gameplay revolves around developing your players through practice and trade, managing the team to win games, and handling the business side of operations. Key business aspects covered include strategically building and expanding your stadium for better attendance and revenue, recruiting fan club members, and selling team merchandise. The guide even suggests Chiba Prefecture as a recommended hometown based on factors like land price and rainfall. Player development is crucial, with detailed explanations of different training methods, including various camp types, and regular practice routines focusing on hitting or pitching. There's also advice on acquiring talented players through scouting or trades, and making strategic decisions during matches. Other interesting features highlighted include cosmetic customization options for players, special events, and the role of secretariats in managing your team. The page features small screenshots showcasing the stadium, goods screen, fan club interface, and character customization, giving a glimpse into the game's depth. This page presents guides for two distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we delve into Real Sound, Cause No Regret, a unique sound novel that relies entirely on audio to tell its story. The guide emphasizes the importance of experiencing all possible endings and understanding the story's branching paths, providing tips on how choices impact the narrative, and a detailed flowchart to map out the various routes and scenes you can encounter. It's a game where keen listening and careful decisions are key to seeing everything it has to offer. On the right, the focus shifts to D, the pioneering interactive movie adventure known for its intense atmosphere and strict time limit. This section highlights the critical goal of achieving the good ending and provides valuable hints, including the locations of the elusive D gems you need to find. It breaks down the early key scenes with a step-by-step walkthrough, outlining the actions required to progress and solve puzzles. Both guides serve as essential tools for players looking to fully explore these groundbreaking Saturn experiences. This page dives deep into the strategy of Culdicept, a fascinating game that merges trading card battles with board game mechanics. It highlights the importance of mastering various rules and customizing your card deck, known as a book, to secure victory. The guide covers the fundamentals, including understanding creature attributes across different races like humans, beasts, and undead, each with unique strengths and weaknesses. It also explains the significance of land levels, detailing how upgrading territories boosts income and strategic advantage. The article then explores card abilities and powerful combinations, showcasing how creature cards, item cards, and spell cards can be used together for devastating effects, demonstrating complex synergies essential for winning battles and controlling the board. It touches upon resource management, utilizing specific powerful cards, and overall strategic planning needed to become a master Culdicept player.